Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Izzy the Tech Guy. Today, we're going to be discussing tables in the W3School website. We're going to be discussing the tables that they use there, and we're going to get our hands dirty with some select statements. And we're going to talk about the rows. We're going to talk about columns in tables. We're going to go ahead and get started. This lesson shouldn't be too long, so let's go ahead. If you don't have this open, go to w3school.com/SQL, and then we'll get started here. So the first thing here, so last episode we talked about some of the words I was throwing out. Select. So select is what we start our SQL statement. Usually we start when we're trying to pull data from a table. That's what we usually start our SQL statement with. Okay. But before we get too deep into that, one thing I really feel is important is to be familiar with what's in this website. And even like, let's say for instance, you're new to a company and you have some queries to run. One of the most important things to understand before you start messing around with the database is understanding what data is in there. Okay, and depending on what you access, what access level you have, you might not be able to harm anything, but it's very important to know, okay, what I'm looking at and what my data contains. So what I'm going to do here, let's go here. Let's go to SQL Home, and what I want to do is start an overview of like the tables that it has. So what I did, I clicked on this Try It Yourself button under the SQL Home tab. So this will pop up, and here, what I'm trying to do is trying to show an example of the databases that are available, or the tables that are available in this database that W3Schools is allowing us to use. So if you look over here on the right, you might have to do restore databases. But if you look over here on the right, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different tables within this environment. So if you look here, the first one is a customer table. Next one is categories, employees, order details, orders, products, shippers, suppliers. So it's good to know, okay, what each table looks like. So let me just run this. You don't even have to change anything. Just click in here and hit run SQL. So this is going to show you when you run this statement here, and we'll get into more detail in the next episode of what this statement is saying. Now I just want you to get familiar with these tables. So if we look quickly here at this customer table, what do we have in here? We have a customer ID, which if we look just assuming, it seems like every customer gets a unique ID. We have the customer name, the contact name, address, city, postal code, and country. So this kind of shows you what's inside this table. So these are the columns. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns and about 91 rows. So the rows go across, the columns go down. So here we understand, okay, so this is a customer table. It seems like it stores information about customers that this organization deals with. So kind of have a general sense of what's in this table. I can find customer's name, the customer's address, the customer's city, the zip code, and the country. So customer information. And it's good to just, as you play around with the data, whatever data you might be using in your work industry or in your work field, will let you'll get more familiar with it as long as you keep pulling it up and reviewing it. So the next thing we'll do is go to categories. So all I did is, you see this from statement. This is saying basically where you want to pull your information from. And I want to pull it from a specific table, so you have to specify it here after the from statement. And this is the from right here. This is the table I want to pull my information from. So same thing again, run SQL. So we want to see what's in categories. Okay, so again, I have 3 columns here, 8 rows. And if you want to cheat, but I don't recommend it, but you see here, it kind of shows how many records you have basically. So again, seems like category ID is unique in this table. So basically what I mean by unique is every row will have a different category ID. So I see here beverages and it has a description. So category name, category ID, and description. So kind of get familiar. Okay, meat, poultry, produce, seafood. Okay, so I kind of feel comfortable what's in this categories table. Let's go next to employees. I'm kind of assuming that this might have information about the employees. So 10 records. Okay, so I'm assuming and notes. Okay, so this is kind of like these notes seem like they're describing the employee. And okay, so that employee ID seems unique again. So there's 10 records in here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different columns. So we have the last name, then the first name, and then the birth date, and then photo. Okay, so this has a very generic information about employees. Okay, so that's one table. So let's go through again, ordered details. And now look, I made a typo. Let's see if it'll run. Boom. Again, it gives you error. Could not prepare statement. No such table. Order details. So what did I miss here? The R. So let me go back here, add R, run the SQL. Okay, run the query. So it seems here there's 518 records. So each order record has a unique order details ID. So that's key. And how do I tell that already? Because you see this order ID, it repeats here. Well, these first three, but the order detail ID is unique. Okay, product ID, quantity, and this is where from the orders detail. So I wonder, and this is what I do normally. I look, I'm like, we're in order details. I see product ID and order ID. I wonder if these are related to other tables. And you know, we'll just keep remember the 11. And we'll go to orders table next. With the S orders. And let's run this. And what we're doing again, I know this might seem a little boring and monotonous, but it's good to know what's in these tables and kind of remember not every single row, because I mean, when you're dealing with larger organization, there's probably petabytes of data in their tables. So to remember every single record, no, just but have a good sense of what the columns are. So okay, here's order ID. I think we saw that in our last table. Customer ID, we've seen that before, and employee ID, and then shipper ID. So 4 of the columns that we see here relate to other tables, and that's key. Later on down in another episode, you'll see why this is important to see the relationship between these tables, because it helps us with something called joining. When you take 2 separate tables, for example, one table might have employees information, other table might have customers information. You might, for whatever reason, need to join those, and it's good to see what the relationship is. Usually EDR would help with that, but we don't have one right now, so we might have to create one on our own. So we see order date here. So this has order information, which makes sense. That's the name of the table, orders. So we'll go to products. I remember the number we're saving is 11. We should see that in the product ID. 77 record. And again, seems like all of them are unique. Here's our 11. So here's record 11. Price. Okay. So this basically has information about the products. The product ID, the product name, supplier ID, category ID, units, and the price. 77 records in this table. Okay. And knowing how many records are in this table will help. Like if you're running something, you need something to validate what your results are. That's helpful as well. Okay, so 3 records in here. Different shippers. So there's 3 different shippers. The number, the shipper's name, and the shipper ID. Again, the shipper ID seems to be unique in this table. And let's go, the last table is suppliers. And there's 29 records. Okay, so we have the supplier ID, which looks unique, doesn't repeat. And we have the supplier's name, the contact name, the address, city, postal code, country. So this almost looks like, I believe it was the customers table, but with some different column names. Because the customer table had address, city, and country, I remember. And then so let's look here. Okay, so this is just information on the supplier. So we kind of, okay, now we're familiar with what's in each of these tables, and we kind of seen the data. So now we're going to, in the next episode, we're going to go through and we are going to start writing some SQL and having fun with that. So hopefully you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.